Welcome back to Family, Faith, and Friends podcast. Today's episode is something a little different and something very special. You may notice there are no guests at the table with me today. That's because this episode reaches beyond the studio and into the hearts of our church family. All throughout this week, we invited members of our congregation to share their favorite family holiday traditions, the moments, the memories, and rituals that make this season so meaningful. Some are heartfelt, some are nostalgic, and some are delightfully simple. But all of them remind us of something important. Faith grows when it is shared. Traditions matter because they connect us to each other, to our families, and to the story of God's love throughout the generations. So today, instead of one conversation, we get many small ones. A chorus of voices from our community, each sharing what brings warmth, joy, and meaning to their holiday season. Let's gather around the table in spirit and let's celebrate the gift of community together.
So our families, both Katie and I's, are both of the Italian descent, and I remember a lot of our Christmas Eves being the seven fishes. Great way to get the family together and celebrate, and we're thinking about possibly starting that tradition again with our own family now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's really seven fishes? It's like all?
It absolutely is.
Ooh, I'm coming to your house.
Shrimp, scallops,
Crabs,
tuna,
smelts. And then we're gonna find some. It's probably like a tuna. Did you say tuna?
I said
Like
tuna.
a salmon,
Salmon,
something
salmon.
or other.
salmon. There we go.
And then maybe shrimp two different ways or something like
Yeah.
that. But you do seven fishes.
Or a little flounder or something like that.
Flounder
Oh, that's,
sounds
that's a
good.
pretty good idea.
Yep. It's good stuff.
That's the whole biblical, the fishes of, right? Is that how it came from?
That's where
Bible.
it came
Okay.
from. Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you. That's a cool tradition.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Our favorite tradition is when we come to my house for Christmas Day and open presents and have breakfast.
And we've recently started getting matching PJs everywhere, which is so much fun. This year they're Mickey Mouse. Last year, they were like dogs.
Yeah, they were dogs.
So that is our family tradition, and we are feeling very holly and jolly.
Yeah.
Okay. Our family tradition started when my children were like two and 4 years old. So at Thanksgiving time, after the meal, we'd hand out advent calendars, or we present advent calendars, but the kids have to come up with a list of what they would like to have for Christmas. So they made my shopping easier. So they would sit down and have to think about what they wanted, write it down on the index card, and then they would turn the index card in to get the prize of the advent calendar, which included chocolate. So we've been doing that for approximately 48 years or so, and continuing it on with our 7 grandchildren, who range from 24 to 18. We thought we were going to be stopping when they finished high school, and then my oldest one said, "What do you mean, no candy?" So the tradition continues, and all is well.
My tradition is every Thanksgiving, my dad says the same prayer that his dad said when they were around the table for Thanksgiving when he was a boy. And I think that's really cool.
Okay, well, when my children were little, the grandparents would come to our house and my aunts would come. And while we were fixing dinner, Margie, Carolyn, and Bobby would prepare a little Christmas program for us. So after we had dinner, we would all go in the living room and they would play their instrument, or they lead us in Christmas carols, play the piano, whatever. And sometimes they repeated the little skit that they had learned in Sunday school. I remember one of them was Martin Luther's, what he taught his children, and they would do it. I remember one year they had my husband dressed up as a shepherd with his bathrobe and slippers. So that was kind of a fun thing I remember from when they were children.
Awesome. Thank you. What is your tradition?
Since I was very young, my grandparents on my mom's side always had us read the Christmas story. And then when we each had children, we would read it from the Bible, but we'd also read it from a children's book. And with that, we always had a cake that we would sing Happy Birthday to Jesus. on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day because that's Jesus' birthday.
Like real happy birthday?
Really happy
Yeah,
birthday.
really. Happy birthday
And then whatever little children were around, they would get to blow out the candles.
That's
So
cool.
everybody was happy that they got to blow out the candles.
And then also with Christmas days when I was younger, we used to go over to my aunt's house, and then I'd always get all my toys. And then an hour after I get to look at all my toys, we have to leave. So when I got older, and I vowed I would never, when we had kids, we'd pull our kids away from their toys. So we'd always have dinner at our house so the kids could spend their day with all their new stuff. So that's how we ended up cooking Christmas dinner, some kind of a beef dinner at our house every year. And those who would like to come up, we invited them up. And that was our tradition.
You have a tradition you remember?
Well,
I remember.
since you were little, we've always done the Happy Birthday Jesus cake.
Happy birthday, Jesus. Yeah, we pick up a tree like the first weekend in December. I light it. The wife and the kids always put all the ornaments on. That would be their tradition, probably.
Awesome. Thank you very much, family. Amanda?
You seem a little nervous.
Amanda, what are you doing?
I'm helping Santa as an elf.
Oh, is that a tradition that you involve yourself in? Do you involve yourself in that? Is that a tradition you do?
It's not my tradition, it's East Stroudsburg Presbyterian Church's tradition.
But you're involved in it now,
I'm
right?
an elf.
Are you the head elf?
I'm the head elf.
You don't even look like an elf. Wow, look at those elfkin things. Checking the list and reading the list and checking it twice.
Right,
Gonna find out who's naughty and nice.
Merry Christmas.
One of my favorite traditions that I remember was actually when I was a little girl growing up. Every Christmas morning, my mother and father would go down to check for the 5 children to see if Santa Claus came. And then all of a sudden we would hear, on Christmas morning, we would hear bagpipe music playing from our Scottish heritage. And we would always walk down the stairs. On Christmas morning, it was always the youngest to the oldest. And then on Easter, it was always the oldest to the youngest. And I always felt very honored because I was the middle child and I was always in the middle. And that's one of my greatest memories.
One of my favorite traditions with my family was every Black Friday. We never went Black Friday shopping until we were a little older, but we always decorated our house for the holidays. So we'd take down all our fall decorations and we would put up all of our Christmas decorations, the Christmas tree, the little Christmas village. And every year we would do that. My dad would put on his Bach Christmas CDs, and that was the start of the Christmas season for us.
What's your tradition, Carol?
My favorite Christmas tradition always has to be Christmas Eve in our family, partially because of the music and just what the meaning behind what the day actually meant in our family. Starting off with going to the Nazareth Moravian Love Feast and the music that surrounded that evening, and just the tears and the memories that always encompass for us with our family and how we would always look forward to that. And then listening to our favorite Christmas music CD or cassette in the car to and from. And how we even still listen to that type of music year round. And then from there, after going there, 2 of them are home church for our Christmas Eve service there. And then coming home and opening our single Christmas present of Christmas pajamas that we still do as a tradition to this day and have even passed it on to our niece and nephew. So that's probably my favorite tradition that we uphold as a family to this day.
Cool. What is a tradition that you tell me your tradition?
I'm honored to be able to be part of this because I was born and raised in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, which is in Union County. And my mother was a premier soloist in the Susquehanna Valley Chorale. And Christmas time was a very special time for music, including our church. And it was very important that every Christmas Eve we were together in church. We sang together. Even as a youngster, I sang in the choir. We had a children's choir and then we had adult choir, but we all sang together. So it was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I must also say, my dad was born December 24th, way back in the 19-teens. So a long time ago. But so Christmas Eve was very special. Then we went home and we had his birthday cake at home. So it was really fun. So now I'm honored that my daughter Jody and her husband Bill and their 3 girls come with us, and then we go home afterward and we celebrate. So it's fun.
Cool.
Thank you.
But the question was your dad born in a stable?
No, but he was born on a farm.
Oh, that's going in there. That's going in there.
He was the oldest of 9, and he was a farmer.
Yeah, I'm going.
He's the oldest of 9, and he was the son.
It's all going in there.
What can I tell you? It's the truth.
The tradition that we had, we didn't even know it was a tradition, was that her parents, my parents, we all lived within a few miles of each other. We always had them for dinner, and any kids and other people that wanted to come.
So it's all about family.
Yes, it was.
And that's what makes a holiday special.
Yes.
It's not a holiday without family.
Right.
Whether it be your church family, your present family, that's good. Your extended family.
Yes.
And thank you. And you're my family. I appreciate
And that
it.
was also a Presbyterian church.
Was it what? Okay, that's good. Just say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
That's all right. Thank you.
Christmas Eve.
Going to church, and we always have turkey and homemade stuffing on Thanksgiving.
Homemade stuffing? How about Christmas?
At Christmas, it's potluck because we go to our daughter-in-law's sister, and they have a buffet.
You want to take this?
So, but I usually make the stuffing.
I heard about your stuffing.
Yes.
That's why I want to mention it.
Yes.
It's good. I've never had any because I was never brought any like leftovers. You know.
Yes.
Hint, hint.
Well, we had very little leftovers.
I know, that's the problem.
Because our grandsons scarfed up on that.
Well, the grandson, the piano player.
Him and his brother.
All right. Well, tell him. Don't forget the technology guy because I can make him sound really bad next time he's here if he doesn't take care of me.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's basically our tradition.
There we go.
Mother used to make Scandinavian Christmas cookies, so that was always a tradition they would do.
Scandinavian cookies. What would they take? What?
Norwegian. Spritz was one of them. Krumkaka was another. There was like 4 or 5 kinds they would make.
Awesome.
So that was one of them.
Cool beans.
Oh, Thanksgiving, it's about the food and the family, and the menu has to be the same every year. So.
What's the menu?
The menu?
I've encouraged them to downsize, but they just won't have it.
Don't do it. It has to be Senator Russell sweet potatoes, creamed onions, the green bean casserole, the sausage and cornbread stuffing.
Sausage and cornbread stuffing. That sounds interesting.
It's very good.
Every year.
Every year. Every year. And now I don't make them. My children this year divided up the recipes and made all those sides. It was wonderful.
Awesome. That sounds like a great tradition.
It was. It was a great.
If you have any
tradition.
leftovers, I'll be happy to take them.
We have leftovers, and the desserts change every year, but that's okay. It seems like desserts can change.
Cool. Go.
In my family, we were always allowed to open one Christmas present on Christmas Eve.
My Christmas tradition, we'd always bake cookies around the holidays, and when we were little, me and my cousins would actually go on the computer, and there's a website where you can track where Santa is throughout the world on Christmas Eve, delivering presents.
Cool. SantaTracker.com, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Our family's tradition is Christmas cookie baking. We all get together, my daughters, my grandkids, my son-in-laws, my husband, everybody bakes cookies. Many years it has been up to 13 and 14 kinds, but this year a little smaller because we have a new baby, so we're only doing 10 kinds.
10 kinds. How many dozen is that?
Now it is probably 4 dozen each, I would say.
Holy cow, that's a lot of
dozen.
cookies.
It's a lot of cookies.
100, and they're all over the
And
place.
this is a tradition that goes back to my grandparents and my great aunt, and something that we really value as time that brings us together.
Awesome. Thank you very
grateful.
In every Christmas, me and Mom will watch Home Alone.
Every Christmas, my parents give us an ornament that represents what we've done the past year, and we also wear matching pajamas.
So one of my favorite family Christmas traditions is we don't put the wise men in the manger right away. We actually do it with the church too. We move them along until they get to January 6th, I'm sorry. And then we celebrate the wise men coming.
Oh, they don't go home at all until January, till Little Christmas.
And then we put everything away afterwards. And thank God that the season has been blessed and is finally complete.
Back when I was a young man, and that's
Let's see, Keith, is that more than 70 years ago?
It's more than 7 years ago.
Yeah, it is. Back then, families tended to be larger than they are today and more in touch with one another. So at Christmas morning, we would get up in each of our homes, and this included cousins, grandma and grandpa, uncles, aunts, people like that. Anyway, each Christmas morning you'd get up and you'd have gifts around the tree and that sort of thing, and always a train that went around the tree as well. And then in the afternoon, we would always gather at someone's home. That might be Grandma and Grandpa's house, or Uncle Harry and Aunt Joe's house, or our house, with all the kids and everybody, and we would celebrate the opening of packages, have a wonderful dinner together in the afternoon. Truly a celebratory time to celebrate the birth of Jesus and to celebrate the love and wonderfulness of a family being together. So that was the family tradition of long ago. Happens a lot less today. We're all spread out. Of course, many have passed as well. But fond memories of those times.
Back in the 50s and the 60s, my father used to have a camera with the big floodlights. And of course, the Christmas tradition was no one could come down the steps to the Christmas tree where the presents were until my father had the camera ready to go and the floodlights on. And then we would come down one at a time, first my sister and then myself. We would each go to our separate spots, and then we would open one present, and then my sister the other, and then me. And then when the film ran out, we'd have to stop. Thank goodness, because the floodlights were so hot, at least he turned them off at that point. He'd reload the camera, and we'd start again.
Wow, those were some amazing stories and some great traditions, wouldn't you agree? Well, now it comes for that time of the episode where we talk about our family challenge. Today's family challenge is called Create One New Tradition Challenge. This week, I want to invite you to do something special, something simple but powerful. Create one new holiday tradition with your family. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Maybe it's say a prayer before dinner, a moment of gratitude, a service project, baking something together, lighting a candle, or writing notes of encouragement to others. Whatever you choose, make it intentional, a moment your family can return to year after year. Traditions begin with just one choice. And now moving on to our Bible verse of the day, comes from Psalm 133, verse 1. How good and pleasant is it when God's people live together in unity. This verse beautifully captures the heart of today's episode. Holiday traditions remind us that God designed us to live in connection, to gather and to share, and to celebrate together. When families and communities unite in love, prayer, and gratitude, God's presence becomes visible among us. Psalm 133, verse 1, reminds us that community isn't not just comforting, it's sacred. Unity reflects God's heart, and our traditions become moments where his joy is shared from one generation to the next. And now comes time for our prayer of the day. Would you pray with me? Lord, as we enter this season of gratitude, joy, and celebration, we thank you for the gift of community, for the families we come from, the families we build, and the church family you've woven together in your love. Bless the traditions shared today. May they inspire us, comfort us, and remind us that you are present in every candle lit, every meal prepared, every song sung, and every act of love exchanged. Make this season one of a deeper connection with you, and with your families, and with the community you've placed around us. We pray this in your precious name. Amen. Well, that was a great episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to thank you for joining us today on this special community-centered episode of the Family, Faith, and Friends podcast. Hearing the holiday traditions of our church family reminds us that family is alive in the ordinary, in the stories we share, the memories we honor, and the love we pass down. As always, be sure to subscribe. Follow us on social media at Family, Faith, and Friends, and visit familyfaithandfriends.com for more stories and resources. Next week, we bring this season to a close with our final season episode, our season finale, as we look forward and ahead to everything God is preparing us for this ministry and this community. Until then, may your homes be filled with warmth, your traditions be filled with meaning, and your hearts be filled with Christ's peace. And remember, family, faith, friends, together we grow.